Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. We have another sit-down video today. England is joining us for this one, as is my cat Darla. You can't really see her, but she's there. She's the little black lump right there. Today's video is finally going to be something like a continuation of the Germany series, which got abandoned a long time ago. I just kind of realized that constantly making content about Germany just wasn't for me, and that's why I think it's important to make this video. I have lived in Germany for 15 years now, and I think that there have definitely been ups and downs along the way. Long story short though, I do have to say that it just feels like Germany is no longer a fit for me in particular, but not really for our family either. And I would like to get into some great detail about it. I will start on a personal basis, and I will, if you guys like, I can make further videos talking a little bit about data, kind of backing up the fact that Germany, just particularly Munich and Bavaria, isn't really optimal for expats in general. Of course, everyone will feel different and have a different experience, but here's mine. I do feel like for a time Germany actually really suited our family. It was perfect for me as a young stay-at-home mom who really wanted to focus on my children, and I wanted to be there for them. All of my children were born at home, and I was stay-at-home mom. I breastfed all of them 2 years. I spent like basically my whole 20s either pregnant or breastfeeding, apart from taking a little gap to do my doula apprenticeship. But my entire 20s was basically just enjoying being a mommy. And for that time period, not just when it comes to me and what I was choosing to do with my life, Germany at the time was also a really good fit. You know, we have Kindergeld. We were feeling like we could have enough-ish space. Munich has always been a very expensive place to live, and Munich just continues to skyrocket, and more people are talking about it, and there is a lot of protests about just people trying to find rent around here. But logistics aside, I do think that there was a time and a place for our lives here in Germany, and I do think we've had good times. And I do think that living in Munich, though it was more expensive and we had less space, I had more of a community when I lived over there. There are a lot more expats in Munich than there are in the area that I live now. I live outside so that we are able to somewhat afford some housing, and it's still very expensive out here, I have to say. And I can say I just haven't, after quite a few years here now, really managed to resonate with the people all that much in the area. And that is not to go to say, like, anyone that I am in contact with, like if you are friends with me on Facebook or Instagram, you are not someone that I am directing my kind of dissatisfaction with the communication style of the area. Like, if we are in contact, I have nothing against you. It's just the percentage of the amount of people I feel like I'm able to build a community with around here that have a very similar mindset, communication style to what I have is very limited. And that leaves me with no choice other than to just come forth and say that I do not see us having a happily ever after in Germany, but Germany is not the place of fairy tales with happy endings anyway, now is it? So we bought a house here, and I think that's what really confused people, but that is, it was mostly a very brash decision because we had really no other choice with the skyrocketing rent prices. Seeing more of our money going down the drain was just not an option really anymore, and I was in contact with someone that gave us an otherworldly deal on this place. All that being said, I've really reached a point in my life where I've realized that financial stability is not everything. What's really important to me right now is community and connections. And I've already made such a huge sacrifice in coming over here, and to constantly be trying to fit into a shoe that's just not fitting, no matter how hard I try. I'm much better at the language. I feel like we should definitely do some German vlogs, and I'm to a point where I feel like I'm even having fun speaking German, and I'm taking my B2 exam very soon here, so I feel like I, after a very long time, have managed to really just say I tried, and it just isn't working for me. And we have had some very traumatic experiences with some of the locals, some more mild, some more severe, and For example, I wasn't sure if I was going to share this story, but my daughter Leah, she bikes to school. She got hit by a car. It wasn't that long ago, and it was devastating and scary. And when we arrived, the people who did it were just insanely selfish and insanely non-compassionate, and just very like pointing fingers at a little child. And then I thought, okay, maybe we're just dealing with some really nasty people. But then I really thought about it, and I feel like there's an accountability issue, particularly in the elderly community in Bavaria as a whole. And the police, who were also younger, did not make the situation any better. And I don't want to go into the whole ins and outs of everything, but basically they were pointing fingers at a little child, and this was a street that said "Vorsicht, Schulkinder" everywhere. Be careful, school kids. It was the first day of school, and there were kids everywhere, and you should be on the lookout for school kids on their bikes. Like, people biking in Germany is like breathing air around here. So I'm beyond in shock about the situation. Like, that was enough to try to handle, was to digest that your child was practically, you know, could have not made it, you know, but then for it to be dealt with such little compassion, and I just can't. And I know people, I'm sorry if I get all red, I know people are gonna say, you just had bad luck, there are just not good people out there, and that could happen in the States. But I have to be honest with you, I don't see it happening in my country. I don't, and it bothers me so much that so many people around here, and it's all over the news, what a mess my country is, and I have to take that every day. But I see every day how Germany is far from perfect as well. Part of the energy that comes from living here is so dark. It's so isolating. And I'm at a place where I need community above all else. And I need some time for self-discovery, and to do that, what I need more than anything is some people who can uplift me and support my family. And we are exploring our options. You guys know England has always been a dream for us, but the door has been quite closed. You can't say entirely. I have plan A, B, C, D, E now about what we're going to do, and there's no certainties about that yet, but we are getting closer. I think that what happened with my daughter really put the icing on the cake, but of course it goes so much deeper and far beyond what happened there, and that's just a very extreme case. It's scary for me to talk about how I feel, because I feel that people around here are very quick to give judgment, but not very easy to receive it back. And I've seen that in my comments section. I've seen that with other people who make similar videos. And I know Bavaria is a little bit different than the rest of Germany. I was actually in Berlin in June. And I have to say, there's a lot more like free-flowing, like more individual type people, like not everyone just trying to put everyone in little boxes like around here, and that I can appreciate. And I feel like I have such a small understanding, even after 15 years in Germany, I have such a small understanding of Germany. I think that Germany does have a very traumatizing past, and that does justify some trauma response. And I know I'm someone who has a diagnosis of PTSD, and my childhood was far from perfect. My life was far from perfect, and I don't have any intention really of going back to America. I just don't want to. But man, at one point, can't we just say like, hey, we're all in this together, and like, let's just be nice to each other and smile at each other and not point fingers at little kids. Today, I really wanted this video to be more from the heart than about statistics and other people's experiences with living in Germany. I really wanted it to just be about mine, and how we feel like we're ready for a new chapter, and how we're quite tired of the mindset around here. And everyone who is around here who I have managed to find connection to, this is not about you. Please don't ever take it that way. But I do feel like I need something more close to home. And I think that's why I am struggling with my mental health so much. And I think that Germany has a very like competitive mindset and a very like put people in boxes from a very young age. I'm appalled by the school system. Don't even get me started. That's a whole other video. Separating the kids at age 10. I don't care. I mean, I know there are a lot of ways to, you know, change route and stuff like that. Regardless, the damage is already done psychologically, and there's not a lot of talk about mental health, and there's a lot of change that needs to be done, and something that I can't do alone. It's not my turf. At the end, it's my right to leave, and no one needs to change their ways for me or for anyone else. If it works for the society, it works for the society, and that's fine. But it's quite clear that it doesn't work for me, and I've definitely reached boiling point. So I'm a pretty angry mama bear at this point in time. The school system has absolutely disgusted me. What the last 5 years living here has done to my mental health. If you want to know a little bit why I disappeared from YouTube, I will leave a little link to a little backstory on that and my comeback here. And it's scary. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. It's scary because opening up and voicing your opinion, people around here aren't exactly a fan of it, but you know, I don't care anymore because I'm definitely deciding to peace out at this point. So there will be some more fitness and foodie content, which is the more regular source of content on this channel. I much prefer it because I stopped making the Germany videos because I just don't like Germany. But I realize a lot of people are interested in it. And there are things that I do feel like I did enjoy about living here for a time, so please don't take this all negative, but it's safe to say it no longer suits. And it's also really hard to say because especially once we're gone, I do feel like there will definitely be things that even I miss. But right now, the pros and the cons, I've made the list, and the cons, it's too big. It's just too big. And I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that because I'm already quite emotionally worked up and I have a lot of studying to do for my BSY exam. So without further ado, I hope you guys appreciated my authenticity. Feel free to go at me in the comment section and tell me I'm a naive American, a soft American, whatever you like. I really couldn't care anymore, to be honest with you, with everything that I've heard recently. So, and I know a lot of you guys who do follow me are Americans, so you probably wouldn't say that, but that is what's going on right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this one for what it is, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.